Hello everyone. Today I'm putting together a tier list ranking historical military surplus by country of origin. This ranking is based entirely on my personal experience, so I'm only including countries from which I own a decent amount of surplus. Having multiple examples help reveal consistent trends in quality. I'll also try to distinguish between issues that seem typical of a country's surplus versus damage or wear likely caused by the private collector. My historical interest focuses on the period of roughly 1870 to 1918, spanning from the Franco-Prussian War through the end of the First World War, and my collection reflects that era. In particular, I'm especially interested in colonial history during this time. In the S tier. In my experience, Chilean and Argentine surplus stands out as the best overall. The finish is generally very good, the metal quality is high, and the items tend to be very presentable and attractive. Much of this surplus was likely imported in the United States about 70 years ago or more, though some of the pieces may be more recent. Overall, the Chilean and Argentine surplus is consistently in excellent condition. In the A tier. Swiss surplus belongs solidly in this tier, is typically very high quality with only minor imperfections, and generally looks excellent. A lot of Swiss surplus has entered the market more recently and for the most part remains very well preserved. I would also place the Austro-Hungarian surplus here. Although many Austro-Hungarian items were reused by successor nations after the empire collapse, they still tend to show consistent quality in both wood and metal. Venezuelan surplus also deserves a mention here, particularly when it comes to bayonets. While I can't say with absolute certainty that my own FN 1924 bayonet is Venezuelan, research suggests that these better preserved FN 1924 bayonets are commonly believed to have come from Venezuela. In contrast, other FN 1924 bayonets, likely from other South American countries, are much rougher in appearance. In the B tier, British Commonwealth and the French Empire surplus is generally in decent condition. One notable standout is the British leather scabbards, particularly those for the pattern 1907 bayonet, which seem to hold up better than almost any other leather scabbard that I've encountered. Overall, surplus from these sources is usually serviceable and reasonably well preserved. In the C tier, Brazilian surplus tends to be average at best. The rifle stocks often don't look particularly good, and the metal finish is similarly underwhelming. Bayonets also frequently show noticeable wear. This may be due in part to Brazil's humid climate, but regardless of the cause, Brazilian surplus consistently appears to be of lower quality. Italian surplus also tends to look kind of rough, though the quality can vary significantly with the wood and metal components. I've also handled several Romanian AK-47 bayonets, 5 at one point, and all were in pretty rough condition. It's common to see these heavily used, though examples in decent shape do exist. The best Romanian bayonets are perfectly acceptable, but the majority show extensive wear. In the D tier, Spanish surplus is generally quite rough. While some individual items look fine, most appear heavily used. Turkish surplus is similar, often showing significant wear, even on comparatively newer rifles produced as late as the 1940s. Overall, I've noticed that surplus from the same country tends to share a consistent look in terms of quality and wear. My personal favorites remain the Argentine and Chilean Mauser rifles and bayonets from the 1890s and early 1900s, and these were made in Germany and Austria. As you move down the list, surplus from other countries tend to appear less refined and more heavily used. That said, evaluating surplus can be complicated. Items may have been reused by other nations or spent decades in private collections, which can greatly affect condition. Long-term private ownership often results in more wear, though some collectors do clearly take care of their pieces. If you enjoy this analysis, please consider subscribing for more military surplus content. Thank you for watching.